Good morning, everyone. I am so happy to be here today. And I wanted to talk about this notion, this fear that permeates through the collective sphere. And it's been coming up a lot lately due to the current conditions and the current climate. And it's this fear of death. The fear of death is something that we absolutely do not want to talk about. We don't want to think about it. We don't want to engage with this idea that we will leave this human vessel one day and this will no longer exist. But I want to challenge you and ask you to, instead of running away from it, rather engage it. Think about it. And let me dive into this for a second. I remember when I was a child, when I was 8 or 9 years old, I remember laying up several nights in my bed, just absolutely terrified, bringing myself down into this rabbit hole, thinking about what it would be like after I die. Would I be buried 6 feet underground and that's all there ever was? Or was there something more? Was there something greater beyond this human experience that we're all living? Because to be honest with you, this vessel, this body, is temporary. But what's beyond that is expansive, is ever evolving. And this is the point of all of this, is that we are not really scared of death. We are scared of the unknown. We're not sure. We like to be able to control things. We like to be able to understand what's happening around us. The things that are out of our control, the things that are beyond our knowing, this human mind, is what terrifies us. But I want to flip the switch for a second. I want you to ask yourself a few questions. And this is going to help to empower you to move forward in a way that is in total alignment with your heart, with your passions, with your values. You know, this lifetime is so finite. It's so short. It really just happens in a blink of an eye. Yes, the days can feel long. The years can feel like they're taking forever at times. But at the same time, if you reflect back on the amount of years you've lived so far, how fast has that happened? It's so quick. And we often waste our time doing things we hate. We waste our time fulfilling obligations and responsibilities we feel like we have to fill because of societal expectations and conditioning and all of that. But what if, I want you to ask yourself this question, what if I only had 6 months to live? If you had 6 months to live, what would you be doing with your life right now? By asking yourself that question, you start to engage with this sort of expansiveness because you allow yourself to imagine, to visualize what it would be like if you lived a life that was in complete alignment with your heart's desires. Now, it doesn't mean you need to go and quit your job and make these radical life changes. But it does challenge you to think about the free time that you have and how you're spending that free time. It's so, so important to engage with that because literally tomorrow you could wake up and it could be possibly the last day of your life. You don't know. We all don't. We have no clue when that time is going to come. And so that's why it's so important to lead from the heart rather than from the mind space. And this is something that I'm continuously learning how to do, continuously engaging with the heart and asking myself these questions. Because when I'm in that space, I'm creating from this space of complete expansiveness. And yes, it could be terrifying at times because we feel like we have to do these things. The mind tells us that we have to fulfill this responsibility or this obligation. But just play around with that for a second and ask yourself those questions. Every single day when you get up, what would I be doing today if I only had 6 months to live? It would probably change a lot of things in your life, probably for the better. So I just want to leave that with you today, and I would love to hear your comments. So feel free to drop a line below and answer that question. Talk to you soon.